right, and welcome back to ESQ-Astro Sauce. I am the host, ESQ-Astro. As you see, we have a spread already laid out again. So if you've been tuned into the channel, you know my recording apparatus isn't the best. So just using what I got, and had a basic stop of the video right in the middle of me getting to the build up. So um, just a quick recap. We start off with the High Priestess in the upright. Okay. After that was the Devil in the upright. Okay. And then we also had the Hierophant come out in the third position in the reverse, and then the Star card in the reverse in that fourth bottom position. Building up the next row, we have the Lovers upright, the World upright, and then the Wheel of Fortune upright, then the World upright in that third position in the second row. And then the next row up, we have the Empress in reverse, the Hangman upright, and then topping off the reading, we have the Tower reversed. Okay, clarifying the bottom of the deck, what we can't see coming is the Justice card. And yeah, like I was saying, this is some information coming in, some type of possible business deal, somebody in a higher business position getting wind of information to deal with a client and or some type of situation going on in the organization. Okay. Um, Again, this could even be in a relationship with the Lovers card coming out in that particular. The main thing is that there's definitely going to be some communication coming in that may be coming in from the dark. Okay. May not be something that you're aware of. May not be something that you can even do anything about. This may be one of those things where um, you're kind of, I don't want to say guilty by association, but you're included by association in a situation. And again, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to try to solve the problem, but again, two heads are better than one, and again, you just know how, um, sporadically sometimes we can, perform what I would say are miracles or just acts of sporadic kindness or sporadic thought that generates something that actually is effective and appreciated. So it definitely can be that type of situation here. I would say with the Devil card in that position, some type of illusion, delusion, addiction, obsession, um, is definitely being brought to the forefront as far as what's being being exposed. Um, and it could be something that's toxic. That's the main thing. The toxicity coming out in that second position is definitely that with the Lovers card clarifying that it could be some drama. Also with the Wheel of Fortune clarifying the other side of the Devil card. Again, these are things that have to do with material. Okay, so in the material world is very different than the spiritual world. Whereas again, everything is calculated um, through numbers and dollars. Okay, in the spiritual world is just, it doesn't add up in that particular sense. There are a lot of gurus or people out there that try to preach that you know um, the attraction of basically the things you do, but again, righteousness is not measured in dollars. So and again, we live in such a world where wickedness is the way, that again, people who are not in tune with the natural way of life and living often have some type of, you know, some type of feeling or some type of adverse look at those who do the opposite or who have a different view, you know. And the thing is, most people don't understand the old world. They're only in tune with the new world, so they can only do, what the new world requires of them. It's not something that can be um, grandfathered. People can't go back and, they can, you really can, but with the way they have things moving so fast forward, people rarely take that time to look back. But again, these retrograde periods are just for that. And when we can take that time properly and know how to use these times properly, again, things manifest a lot different than those who just, are out here all willy nilly and just doing whatever. So to each his own, though. I don't judge those people. Some people have to be in that particular light to fulfill purpose or be again in the right place at the right time or in the right energy, to actually do things. Enlightenment for some people can be a dimmer, as again, it can make you look at things in a grim way based upon how you come into the knowledge, but also how you apply it and again, see things work in real time. Okay. But I would definitely say that darkness is flipping the hierophant, flipping the star, putting you in a place of, again, choices that are going to have to be made that are going to affect finances or something to do with your abundance or your wheel of fortune. It's definitely causing big changes. The Empress in reverse, again, this may be a golden opportunity that is either missed or is being put on hold, based upon you, again, having to do something in contention to still work towards that happy space. But again, using that time to plan, plot, and strategize on how to rebuild this tower that's either present and has fallen already or is coming, and then the reversal is coming for you to rebuild up. So the main thing is that with justice coming out at the bottom, it's going to play out for your greater good regardless. The main thing is to stay the course. If we go off course, then we can't be too stunned by the things that happen. But when we stay on course, we'll be amazed sometimes at the actual results we get from staying on course. And a lot of things will be there to try to take you off course, to make you want to go off the course, or trying to push you off the course. But to stay in your higher self and your higher mind while things may be low vibrational for a moment. We just always have to keep in mind that all these energies come to pass. They never linger unless we allow them. And the way they linger and we allow them to is through our thoughts, holding on to particular thought patterns, holding on to particular just negative energy with the way we're thinking about things. And again, if we think for the best, we usually get the best. That's my experience. So, and again, the world is mental. The universe is mental. So, when it comes down to it, we have to be mentally sound in a way to not be moved by the things outside of us. And that's a daily challenge. It's hard to not be moved by stubbing your toe in the end of the bed and not saying ouch or feeling that pain. It's just a part of life. It's part of the sensatory, our sense of perception when it comes to how we measure things, how we feel things, how we relate to things. So the main thing is that justice is, again, at the bottom of that deck. I was getting into clarifying the gods. I had mixed up the cards and got all that done. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull that first card off the top, holding the gods to clarify the reading. And that is the resourcefulness card. Okay. So resourcefulness, and it's in the upright, definitely says that's what's going to come from the justice that comes from this particular spread here to set up, and how you've got to walk through this gauntlet, looks like damn near. But with the Wheel of Fortune at the heart of the spread, I would definitely say this is something changing in the financial area. And it may have to do with the choice between staying at a job or leaving a job, continuing to invest in a business or a partnership, or not. It looks like things may progress to where you can still do it. But again, there are choices that have to be made based upon the changes that you are going to have coming in, but you don't see. Just know that justice is on your side. Resourcefulness will be the main thing as far as what this is going to bring forth. And then the bottom of the deck here is the justice card. So we got justice twice at the bottom of the deck. Okay. So somebody's being vindicated in some way. I believe in a way through some of the cards here in the reading. I would say is something highly spiritual, being that you have the High Priestess and the Hierophant in the reading, and they're both in opposite positions. So this could be somebody that's been, topsy turvy, things looking like they're getting way out of control, and something's going to happen to just set everything right in order to where, again, justice comes in. You're going to be very resourceful. And again, justice on both bottoms of the deck. Can't make that stuff up. Um, Definitely one of those readings where, we got a few reversals in there, but they make sense. Because again, you got to go through it to get to it. And this is definitely say you're going through it, starting in that second position, and harder to spread, Wheel of Fortune. So in the upright as well. So that's always a good. And then with the World card right behind it, yeah, and the Lovers card in front of it, choices are gonna the choices that you're gonna make or be presented with are gonna spawn this particular upheaval, which is definitely that Tower. But again, reversing it to where you'll be in a better place to rebuild. You'll have the resources to rebuild. Okay, so yeah, I would say that's a pretty good read on my end. I'm not gonna go any further into it. I do see some things that could relate to somebody's health here as well. So just make sure you're on top of your health as we're in these hot seasons and the dog days of summer. Okay, dog days of summer for a full month now will be the hottest days of the year. So make sure you're staying hydrated. Again, if you can resist, don't eat any cooked foods during the sunlight hours. If you do eat, make sure it's towards that 8 o'clock hour where it's about to get dark, and your body can take something hot at that time without you overheating, especially if you work outside or have to be outside in and out. Just a good tip for you. And always make sure, again, you drinking water, but make sure you're drinking juice. 100% juice is going to provide you with better hydration than just water. And if you want to mix the two, like some people infuse their water with fruit or fruit juices, that's even better. Okay. So just keep that in mind. Lime is a good one to add to your water. It alkalizes the water with the key lime, which has the highest alkaline out of any citrus fruit. And with key lime, you always know it because it's the smallest lime, and when you cut it, it's got actual seeds in it. Okay, so the key lime is the best to add to your water so that you alkalize it. And again, in this heat, if your body stays in an alkaline state by you staying hydrated and alkalizing the body, it won't affect you like it'll affect other people who drink sodas and other things all day. The Slurpees, the soda, the sports drinks, even those are not good for you. So water, water and fruit water. Those are the two things we should be digesting in these dog days of summer. And again, getting up as early as we can to sun gaze, or getting out in that evening hour, I would say about 7:30, to where you can get a good clean sun gaze for about a good hour and a half. And really kind of tune yourself down for the night. I've been doing something regulating the time that I eat, because that's very important to me when it comes to getting a good night's sleep. And every night that I've eaten at least 2 to 3 hours before bed, I've slept just so much more solid through the night. I don't wake up. But when I eat later, I tend to wake up through the night, and sometimes it's not even to go to the bathroom. It's just waking up because my stomach isn't settled. My food isn't truly in a place to where it digested before I went to sleep. So that process is kind of disturbing me. In some essences, it even makes me have night hunger, where I get up and I eat in the middle of the night. It won't be like a big meal or anything, but like I'll eat some chips, or I'll eat a cookie, or And again, in some cases, those will be considered signs or red flags that you have parasites. And I'm pretty sure I do, because I still eat things, even though I'm vegetarian. I still eat things that are not well, good for the overall optimal wellness of the body. But I try to have a balance. I try to be in that mindset of balance. But as I get older, gradually, cutting more and more of the stuff that I know I shouldn't be including in my diet, cutting it off. So, got to be real mindful of that too as we're going into Leo season with Jupiter there. Again, we can tend to maybe overeat, overdo things when it comes to buying things or just being generous in ways to where later on we'll suffer from that. So we have to be very mindful about our spending going into Leo season, but our diets as well, because usually our spending most of the time is associated with how we eat. So we definitely want to be aware of that. But yeah, the reading was pretty dope to me. Like I say, unfortunately, the video got cut off as I was doing the first part, but you guys saw everything in the second part here. And yeah, I don't think I have any much. I don't have much more to explain. I just want to, wish everybody the best. And if you resonate with the video, go ahead and make a comment, like, share, subscribe. Let's get us out into the algorithm so I can start doing some of these other videos. I missed out on the numerology video yesterday, but it's coming. I'm still composing my information to really give you guys a solid video, and it's not going to be too long. It's only going to be like maybe 10-15 minutes, but it'll be some solid information that if you're a novice or you're new to numerology, you can step right in and kind of understand certain formulas that we use to calculate certain things, and then what these numbers individually can represent when we start talking about dealing with characters as well as life paths and destiny numbers. So I thank y'all for tuning in to ESQ Astro. Peace.